Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're lacing up our boots and stepping right out onto the pitch to break down exactly how this beautiful game is governed. Whether you're a diehard supporter or someone just getting caught up on the absolute global phenomenon that is the World Cup, we're going to dive into the foundational rules and the newest high-speed innovations of the world's biggest tournament. So let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off by challenging what you think you actually know about international football. I mean, sure, you know what a goal is, but do you know the exact math of the massive new tournament format? Or how referees are actively, and I mean aggressively, combating time-wasting tactics right now? Let's watch the game's blueprint unfold. Here is our quick game plan for today. We're covering the core rules of play, the notoriously tricky offside rule, the new 48-team format, group tiebreakers, and finally, stopping the time wasters. All right, jumping right into Section 1, the core rules of play, also known as the 17 foundation rules. So the absolutely crucial point here is that a ball is never out of bounds until it has 100% crossed the line. If even a fraction of a millimeter of the ball's curve is hovering over that chalk, play continues. Here is a really fun thing to try next time you're watching a match. When a player makes one of those incredibly dramatic sliding saves right at the edge of the pitch, pause your screen. You'll often see that while the base of the ball looks totally out, the wider curve is actually still breaking the plane of the line. It is quite literally a game of margins. Now, to keep all that high-speed physical contact under control, referees use a notoriously strict disciplinary system. The yellow card is your formal caution for reckless play. But that red card? That means immediate ejection for serious foul play or violent conduct, and it leaves your team down a player for the rest of the 90-minute match. Talk about a game changer. And when one of those major fouls happens inside the penalty box, we get the ultimate drama, the penalty kick. It creates a terrifying one-on-one showdown. The ball is placed exactly 11 meters from the goal. But the specific clearance rules are wild. Every single player besides the kicker and the goalie has to clear out, staying outside the box and remaining at least 9.15 meters away until the ball is actually struck. Moving on to Section 2, the offside rule explained. Or, as I like to call it, preventing the cherry pick. Understanding offside is really the key to unlocking the whole tactical game. Basically, you're in an offside position if you are closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second-to-last opponent, which is usually the last defending outfield player, at the exact moment your teammate passes you the ball. Timing is everything here. So here's a great viewing exercise to try out. Rather than just watching the player with the ball, try keeping your eyes on the line of defending players. You'll actually see them purposefully step forward together in unison right before a pass is made to trap the attackers in an offside position. It's a highly choreographed defensive dance, and it's brilliant to watch. But wait, the crucial nuance here, and this trips people up all the time, is that just standing in an offside position is totally fine. It is not an offense on its own. The referee's flag only goes up if that specific player becomes actively involved in the play, interferes with an opponent, or gains an advantage. If the pass goes to someone else entirely, the offside player is perfectly legal. All right, Section 3, the new 48-team format, basically the World Cup matrix. During the group stage, teams are just absolutely desperate for a win. A victory nets you 3 huge points, a draw gets you 1, and a loss leaves you with 0. Try doing the math in your head during those final high-stakes matches of the group stage. Because all 4 teams in a group often play simultaneously, the live standings change literally minute by minute based on who scores, turning the entire bracket into this chaotic, real-time thriller. So, let's break down the new math of it all. We now have 48 teams divided into 12 groups of 4. Out of those, exactly 32 teams are going to survive. The top 2 from each group advance, alongside the 8 best third-place teams overall. And the remaining 16 teams, they just pack their bags and go home early. Which brings us to Section 4, surviving group stage tiebreakers, the descent of desperation. This creates what is essentially a descending staircase of desperation. If teams tie on points, we move to Step 1, high goal difference. If that's tied, we look at most goals scored. Still tied? We look only at the matches played between those specific teams, their head-to-head points, their goal difference, and goals scored. And if we are somehow still tied after Step 5, we look at fair play conduct. This is incredible. They actually calculate who has the fewest negative points from yellow and red cards to decide who advances. But what if all 6 of those metrics are somehow perfectly identical? Well, tiebreaker number 7 comes into play. The advancement of a world-class team, a team representing their entire nation, is left entirely up to the pure, random chance of drawing lots by the organizing committee. Literally pulling names to see who goes through. Talk about absolute heartbreak. Fortunately, once we escape the groups and enter the single elimination round of 32, tied matches bypass the lots completely. Instead, they move right into exhausting extra time. That's 2 fixed 15-minute halves played out fully with no sudden death golden goal rule anymore. If the score is still tied after those grueling 30 extra minutes, we get the nerve-wracking penalty shootout. 5 alternating kicks per team, followed by sudden death rounds if needed, just to find a guaranteed winner. And finally, Section 5, stopping the time wasters. The need for speed. The number 5 is huge here. Teams can now make up to 5 substitutions during regulation time. This means fresh legs are constantly pushing the pace of the game. Try tracking this tactically next time. Managers are only given 3 designated stoppage windows to actually make these 5 subs. Watching when a coach triggers a window just to disrupt the opponent's momentum is an absolute masterclass in strategy. Oh, and fun fact, if a knockout match goes to extra time, teams get a bonus 6th substitution. Next up is the 10-second rule. You know, in the past, a substituted player whose team was winning might slowly, agonizingly jog across the entire pitch to waste time? Yeah, not anymore. An outgoing player now has exactly 10 seconds to exit using the absolute nearest boundary line. If they delay, the replacement cannot enter the field until an additional 1-minute penalty phase has passed. They are not messing around. And these time limits apply to goalkeepers, too. Goalkeepers are restricted to holding the ball in their hands for an absolute maximum of 8 seconds. Exceeding this literally hands the opponent a corner kick. Here is another great thing to try during a match. When a goalie grabs the ball, watch the referee. You will actually see the ref visibly count down the final 5 seconds on their hand. That pressure is visible, and it is constant. Even dead balls are on a strict timer now. Referees enforce a 5-second countdown on restarts. Taking more than 5 seconds for a throw-in instantly turns the ball over to the opponent. Delaying a goal kick, that directly awards the opponent a corner kick. The need for speed is codified right into the modern rulebook. But because of this blistering new pace, player welfare has to be heavily protected. Mandatory 3-minute hydration and cooling breaks are now woven right into the structure of the match, typically around the 22nd and 67th minutes. This ensures player safety, especially in high heat climates, allowing them to recover just enough before diving right back into that high-speed play. So as the game speeds up, the margins for error shrink, and the stakes get unimaginably high in this massive 48-team era. You really have to wonder, will these new pressures and rapid restarts lead to more decisive victories, or will the sheer competitiveness of the expanded matrix force us into the heartbreaking reality of drawing lots? Next time you sit down to watch, keep a close eye on these exact mechanics. Try out some of those viewing tricks, and I promise you'll see a completely different game unfold. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep observing.